Yo, it's Wednesday, baby, and we're serving the sound. Jams and cocktails, best show around. With ice in your glass and the crew on the mics. We mix it up right every Wednesday night. Get your sip on, get your groove tight. JNC does the midweek right. The shot of the week, it's about to blow. Don't you touch that dial, yo. Jams and cocktails, let's start the show. Jams and cocktails, let's start the show. Jams and cocktails, let's start the show. Jams and cocktails, let's start the show.
Well, good evening, jammers. Welcome to Jams and Cocktails Live. I am your host, Brad Brock, and tonight we're taking you on a musical journey, not by bus, van, or plane, but by one of the oldest and most iconic modes of travel, the train. Choo-choo! Right, Derek?
Right.
Yeah. Our special guests are all about to roll. Here we go. Leaving the station. Our special guests are about to roll out on an Amtrak tour starting in New York and winding their way back down to Florida with plenty of stops along the tracks. So please welcome to the JNC Lounge the dynamic duo of Dom and Ricky. We're going to dive into their stories here in just a moment, but first, let's say hey to the master of disaster, Captain Cocktail himself, Mr. Derek Zuger.
What's up, everybody?
He's holding down the destruction crew on his own tonight.
I got this, I think.
You think?
I think, maybe.
Maybe?
I'll try.
Probably not.
I'll try, probably, yeah.
We got a lot of moving parts that Derek is responsible for. So I'm glad you're here, buddy.
I'm barely responsible for my own moving parts.
Wow.
But I'll do my best.
Well, I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in live with us tonight on YouTube, Facebook, and Shore Life Radio. Please subscribe to us on YouTube and make us your number one preset in the iHeartRadio app. This may seem a bit self-serving, but necessary anyway. Shout out to our September keg sponsor, the JNC Arcade. That's right. It's us. We're sponsoring our own jam. You can play our fun arcade games at jncpodcast.com. So let us know your favorite game and tell us your high scores. So, yeah. Not too shabby, right?
I guarantee that I will work my hardest to be the top score on Derek's Cake Hole.
Derek's Cake Hole. Good. You need to be the highest scoring one on there.
I'm the professional.
That's a fun word to say out loud, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Well, you guys, let's get this train out of the station with our cocktail of the week.
Since we're talking trains this week, it only makes sense that our cocktail of the week rides the rails too. We're serving up the night train, a smooth and nutty spin on the classic espresso martini. Just like DDRB's Amtrak Tour, this cocktail is all about the journey. Bold, energizing espresso for the miles ahead, vodka to keep things lively, and a hazelnut twist from Frangelico that mirrors the warmth and harmony of their music. So hop aboard, raise your glass, and enjoy the ride. Let's head over to the JNC bar to see how it's made.
All right. Our cocktail of the week is an interesting take on the espresso martini. This is the night train. First, you'll get a shaker with ice. Then we'll add equal parts fresh espresso, vodka, and the ingredient that sets this apart from a espresso martini, Frangelico. Shake that up till it's nice and cold. And we'll strain it into a martini glass. Then, because tradition calls for it, 3 lucky coffee beans. 1, 2, 3. Here we are, the Night Train Espresso Martini. Let's give it a try. That is an interesting take on the Espresso Martini. I'm not sure how Dick Bradsell would feel about it, but I think it's pretty nice. Cheers. I'll see you back in the lounge.
So there you have it there. That is the espresso. I didn't feel like making a bunch of espresso martinis because it's the bane of my existence
so
already.
sad.
So that's why I tried it in the video. And it was good. It's different. You would still hate it, I think, Derek.
Yeah, you can
I
have
thought
it.
it was Derek's favorite drink.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy every time Brad makes one for me.
Because coffee is his favorite flavor. That's
Yes. Yes.
There was a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going for it. I'm not doing it.
why. Big fan of the beans, huh?
Would Jordan like it, Brad?
Yeah, Jordan would love that drink.
Yeah, Jordan, you'd love that drink.
Yeah. She asked if she'd like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a total Jordan cocktail for sure. She'd love it. All right, well, join us each week for a cocktail or shot of the week by visiting us at jncpodcast.com to see what we're planning. Then tune in on Wednesday nights to have a drink with us. I think we should get right into it, you guys. Though we do have quite a bit of action going on out there in the chats. Just want to say hi to some people I could see out of the blue. Jay Bird, Paul, Dominic. Anne is in there. Jordan, of course. And Captain Cocktail and Derek. Well, both of your personalities in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Very good. All right. Let's dive in, you guys. There's always been something almost mystical about trains and music. Long before tour buses, before sprinter vans, before highways filled with caravans of gear, musicians crisscrossed the country on the rails. They were troubadours with guitar cases instead of suitcases, swapping songs in smoky cars, and stepping off at small-town depots where every platform could become a stage. Pop culture was been weaving this romance into our ears for decades. Arlo Guthrie carried us along the tracks in the city of New Orleans, a song so steeped in Americana it practically smells like steel rails and diner coffee. Jimmy Buffett, on his way to California and come Monday, dreamed about those southbound trains that carried him back home. Even the blues and folk traditions are laced with the rhythm of locomotives. The clatter of the tracks turned into backbeats, the whistle echoing like a harmonica. Trains weren't just transportation. They were inspiration, mystery, and music, emotion. And tonight, we get to tap in to that living tradition. Our special guests are about to board their own Amtrak adventure, guitars in hand, turning miles of track into songs and stories. So please welcome to the lounge, once again, the duo keeping this grand tradition alive, Dom and Ricky of DDRB. Fellas, you wanna kick this thing off with a little song?
They say that we should get a job, doing what we know is all that we've got. They say that we should pray to God, but he won't answer my calls, and I think that he forgot. It doesn't bother me, whatever happened to your understanding. From what I've seen, you made a mess of all this planning. Everyone around me says they're running out of time, so why not? Why not? Everyone around me says that they're so scared of dying. Why not? Why not? Well, why not us?
The road that's traveled never stops.
No one said it's easy, it's gonna break your heart. And you can try to play it smart, but there's nothing to be learned from a battle never fought. Hey!
It doesn't bother me whatever happened to your understanding. From what I've seen, you made a mess of all this planning. Everyone around me says they're running out of time, so why not? Why not? Everyone around me says that they're so scared of dying, why not? Why not? Everyone around me says they're running out of time, so why not? Why not? Everyone around me says that they're so scared of dying, why not? Why not? Well, why not us? Why not us?
Got hit with a little chaser, you know.
It's great. Yeah, little chaser there. You gotta wet the whistle, as they say, figuratively, literally, all that fun stuff. Oh, dudes, Ricky, nice to have you back here. It's been what? It's had to be a couple of years since
2 years. I was like, really? Has it been 2 years since the last time I was here?
I really believe that it has.
That's crazy.
I know.
Now, John, I'm in the montage for the opening of the show, which I'm very happy to say.
Yes,
I made it into the montage.
And we do feature quite a bit. We do feature your song quite often. The Nashville song,
Yeah, I know
which is
you really like that song.
it's one of my favorites.
It is a great song.
I love
Thank you
it.
very much. I haven't played that. I think one of the last times I played it was probably on this podcast, to be honest.
Didn't I kind of twist your arm to play it on?
With the
on
last
the
Amtrak tour. Yeah, I did. Because I was running out of songs to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did actually play it, so that's why we played it.
Did you play it in Nashville?
No, we played it in Illinois.
Yeah.
Was it Illinois? Yeah.
I was gonna say that probably kind of a missed opportunity there to play it in Nashville.
Ricky was all in his feelings when we were in Nashville.
Nashville was a rough gig. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a general consensus for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I mean, this particular
Going back to
one.
that song.
Yeah, this particular one was really like I speak about in that song. I speak about how I don't really enjoy the culture of Nashville, and I felt like it was never more prevalent than it was during that gig when we were playing on the last Amtrak tour. So it was just like I should have played it. I should have. That was a total misstep on my part.
Well, you know,
it's not going anywhere.
That's true.
Live and learn, as they say.
We will eventually head back.
We can
to
always
Nashville.
go back.
Yeah, I feel like that it's the call of the wild, you know. But let me make sure I got you guys here. So I'm full disclosure, I'm juggling audio, but I think I got it figured out now. So here we go. Let's dive in.
Okay. Let's do it.
There's so much to cover. Let's start right at the beginning, you guys. The idea of the Amtrak Tour seems like such a unique concept. So how did the very first conversation about taking your music on the rails kind of come about?
So I started the Amtrak Tour actually as like a vessel for my solo project to tour, because while it's a more punk rock project, it was always with the intention of being able to scale it down to a solo thing to be able to travel this way. The Northeast was the first place that I did, and it wasn't anything crazy as far as the distances traveled or anything, but it was eye-opening in the sense of it kind of showed me that this could be an affordable alternative to having to take a van or fly into places. So I think on that first tour, New York to Connecticut was something like $8. Yeah, it was insane. I think I did that entire.
Wait 1 second.
8 with an
From
8.
from where to Connecticut?
From New York.
From New York to Connecticut.
From New York City.
For some reason, I immediately thought Florida.
No.
To Connecticut. And I was
It's not
like,
that cheap.
We're
No,
traveling wrong.
unfortunately, it's not. It's not that affordable, but it is relatively affordable, and
I think the most expensive one we had on the last one was what?
maybe around $100. Something.
But that
like
was
it
a 30-hour
it was
train
30
ride, so
hours.
it was a little bit different.
Yeah, but so the idea kind of spiraled from that first one, and it became, well, how far can I do this? And so then I did one that was Los Angeles all the way up to Vancouver by myself, and that was cool for what it was. And touring by yourself is a different experience. And so for the third Amtrak tour I was going to do, it was going to be the end of the idea, and it was kind of going to be the close to a project I was working on, and I kind of twisted Ricky's arm to come along
I didn't want to go.
on this final third tour, and we did Seattle to
It's
Nashville.
like, really, we're going to be stuck in a train? Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, and I had these experiences on the first couple of Amtrak tours where I would come home and be like, this was amazing, and I think I might have stumbled upon something that I'm both really good at and I think is working well for me, in the sense of like the shows were progressively getting better. It wasn't the type of touring where, like with bands, we typically will go out on the road and then we come home and we're scraping for money and all that stuff. So it looked like it had potential. And then when I brought him on, I think finally he believed me.
Yeah, I saw it.
And
It was like I had a revelation that I was like, this is such an interesting, not only is it an interesting way to be able to travel, but it's an interesting way to be able to sort of consume the culture of America, because we're in these places where you wouldn't go if you had a car, or you wouldn't go if you were just flying in or whatever like that. We're relegated to public transportation because we don't have cars.
Right.
So we get to ride in buses and you know, be with the people for the most part, and see places when, like, booking, you have to book around the train station because that's where you have to be the next day, and you have to be able to get from the train station to the venue and everything like that. So in cities we may not have thought of touring to because it's just where a train station is.
Right. Well, speaking of that, did you find that it was difficult procuring equipment? Like, I'm sure you weren't traveling with a PA. Did you find it hard to do that? And did you find it difficult to find venues of that sort in and around the train stations to make it convenient for you?
I think that that's one of the beauties of this project, and basing it around acoustic guitars is, you know, the venue itself doesn't need power. We could just show up, we could play in your living room, we could kind of play anywhere, and the project is versatile in the way that it can fit in all these different venues. So that kind of opens up the door for, you know, with a punk band or something like that, we're kind of limited in the sense that we'll play places that can host a punk band or
Yeah, you need a
something very
PA.
loud or something. Yeah, you need a PA,
Right.
you need something to carry the sound. So with this, it opens up the possibility of, you know, if it's a Tuesday night, you know, instead of trying to make a bar show happen on a Tuesday night, if somebody has a small group of friends and wants to do a backyard show, we're more than capable of doing that. And more often than not, we'll have a higher success rate with that because
It's much more intimate.
it's intimate. It's a different type of thing. You're not dragging people out to a dive bar on a Tuesday night and keeping them out till midnight. You know.
Interesting. And so when you guys, do you crash at people's houses? Do you flop? Do you do things like that? Do you stay in hotels? Like, where's the splurge line for that?
Hotels are probably that's the most expensive part of it. And with the one that I did the last time, we had a lot of overnight trains, so we didn't have to really worry about hotels and some of that. I think we had like 10 cities and maybe 4 overnight trains.
Yeah, four.
So that was were 4 times where we didn't have to worry about getting a hotel.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, which worked out. But the East Coast is different because all the trains are much shorter, so there's no overnight trains. So we have 11 cities and 11 hotels because we have to find a place to stay in every single city because we're not doing it any overnights.
Right, I was gonna say, and we're like grown-ups now.
We're a little
so-
past. Yeah, we're a little past the sleeping on floor days. And all that stuff. Luckily, like, I mean, we do have, like, I have a friend in New York City, which we've been to New York quite a bit over the past few years. So we have some friends in the city that we'll be able to sleep with and shave costs off. But coming down south, we're going through places that if we have been to, it's maybe been once or twice. So it's relatively foreign territory for us.
Yeah. Yeah, we had I have a friend in Nashville. We crashed at his place towards the end of the tour last time, which was nice. We just didn't have to do a hotel for. But for the most part, I mean, we had one venue where they said we could crash at the hotel. We can crash at their house, but it really wasn't super expensive to stay at hotels. So we're like, we'll just get our space. You know, kind of do that whole thing. That was Minot, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. So that was one of the ones where it was like a place that I had never even heard of prior to going on this tour. And then we went there. We played at this cool ass bookstore while we were there.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a really, really cool experience.
So yeah, I mean, let's dive into that a little bit, because in that spirit of going to places you've never been before, obviously you do a little research and you find out what's going on, and you book most of your venues obviously before you jump on the train, right? I mean, I'm sure some maybe fall in your lap while you're in and around, but do you have people there, friends or anybody that kind of recommends it, or is it kind of a Google search? What's going on?
The tour that we're doing this time around, we've done a little bit differently in that we actually worked with a booking company, a woman who runs a company called Banana Slug Booking.
This is the first time we've ever used somebody else.
Yeah, it's the first time that we've had somebody else booking our stuff. All the Amtrak tours before this, I booked all the shows. I think I might have booked all the ones on the last Amtrak tour.
Yeah, I don't think I was a part of it. I honestly was whatever you want to do, man, I'll show up.
Yeah,
I was so detached from the process until we actually got on the train.
I mean, to the point where even once we got into Seattle, it was not necessarily clear what you were going to be playing.
Yeah, no, I didn't even. That's the thing is because I'm not really a solo artist.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have songs. So I was taking some songs from my band and trying to make them acoustic and playing some random old folk covers and everything like that. But I really didn't know what the hell I was going to play.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny. At that point, you guys weren't even together as DDRB yet, right?
No.
So we're not even playing together. Just kind of
we were doing two
act.
separate sets. Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing two separate sets. And for booking it, I've been for the past few years, Ricky and I have toured in other projects around a lot, but on my own, I've been working through all 50 states. I'm at 32 out of 50 right now.
That's awesome.
It's really cool, and it's something that I kind of kick myself though, because then I ran into this person, Houston, who's in a band called Houston and the Dirty Rats from Philly, and he was in the process of doing his 50 states, and he beat me to it. But he's a great person, and he's somebody that we reach out to quite often when we're booking these things. So that's kind of been the basis of a lot of our booking, was these connections that we've met in other capacities touring. But then it just became simpler with two acoustic guitars.
Yeah, I mean, when you have just two acoustic guitars and a couple of bags, traveling around, makes it just way easier, regardless of what mode it is. But train makes it really easy because there's a lot of room for bags and everything like that, and they really don't, there's no, when you get on a plane, it's constricting and it's anxiety inducing and everything like that. And then on a train, it's there's a lot of room, there's a lot of leg room. You can get up and walk around. The train we were on, there was an observation car, so you can be able to go and it's all glass, and you can watch the mountains go by and everything like that.
Go see stuff.
Yeah, it was really nice. We were bouncing between cars and everything like that, upstairs, downstairs kind of thing, and it's very, very different than plane travel or riding in a bus, which we've done RV, van, and traveling by plane, and train by far is the best of all three.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Maybe a story for later or another time, but that RV tour that you had documented, that was that was something. Some of the stories were so good, man.
Well, so in that, I guess it would have probably been the first episode. It's the first episode that we actually leave town with the RV when we get into Charleston. That's actually my birthday.
Yeah.
And
right, I do remember that.
And on that day, Ricky produced my last solo album, For Life, and that was the day it was coming out. So we were celebrating For Life. I brought up my birthday and nobody remembered it, so I bought myself a cake.
And never gonna fucking let that down.
And then in this episode, I set the cake down on the table. I told our buddy Joe, I was like, Joe, watch the cake. I'm gonna go take a shower, because I thought it would be funny to take a shower while the RV was moving. I didn't know that the water was full. So
the black water was full on the RV, which we didn't know about.
We didn't. They told us it was empty.
Yeah,
and that was a lie.
We're dummies who didn't check.
So about 2 minutes into this shower, I look down and the shower is now coming back up, starting to flood, and it was pee-pee water all in the RV.
All in the RV.
And that's how I spent my birthday in Charleston, which is where I'll be spending my birthday on this tour.
Yeah, so we wound up with this tour.
This is the redo.
On his birthday. We're going back to Charleston.
I'm going to find somebody's RV and just cover the floor in pee, just for
Please don't.
tradition's sake.
Somebody better buy this man a cake
Yeah,
on this
exactly.
trip.
Let's see if I remember.
Yeah.
And a proper shower.
Yeah.
Do they still do $11 showers at the pilot?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Flying
Yeah.
J's?
Flying
Yeah.
J's.
Cheaper if it's a team shower. Too.
Yeah, we would if they ask
We
if you're
know
a
by
team,
now.
you just say, "Yep,
Well,
best
because
team you've
the
ever
thing
seen."
is with the RV is that we did a whole documentary about it. We did a docu-series about the whole entire thing. And if you watch the docu-series, as the episodes go on, more and more shit breaks on the RV to the point where we were just driving a giant box truck.
Yep.
So we had no hot water, we had no electricity or anything like that. It was just like basically a car. So at that point in time, we were showering in pilots and flying J's all the way down. And
Man.
on
You guys
top
got the
of
full experience for sure.
on top of driving into a hurricane.
Yeah, we were
that's right,
racing
We were
Hurricane
racing- we had
Matthew.
we had to cancel our
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville date so we can be able to get back home before the hurricane hit
That's
by us.
right.
So we're literally like white knuckling down 95 in this 50-foot RV while like these semi trucks were like flying by us and everything like that. But I was
because they were trying to do the same thing as you.
Yeah.
They
And
were
I
trying
was-
to get where they were going.
I had never driven a vehicle that large before, and the night before, our drummer, who was the one who drove the entire time, wound up getting really sick and couldn't drive. So it just wound up being like, who's going to drive? And everybody kind of looked around and did like this, and I was the last one to do it. So I wound up having to drive the damn thing back home, which was terrifying. But yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I would definitely take the train experience. Although we have great stories from that tour, I would definitely take the train experience over having to do
Yeah,
that.
sometimes the stories aren't worth it. Sometimes they are.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're not worth it. Maybe a second go around, not worth it. You lived through it
Definitely
once.
not with that company. I will tell you that right now. We'll never rent from that company. I don't even know if that company's around anymore.
That RV is definitely not around anymore.
no.
We drove that.
No, they
that thing
scrapped
was
that shit as
scrapped
soon as we
when
got
brought
back.
it
Yeah,
They should have just let us keep it, to be honest.
Stupid.
Bastards.
You didn't want that.
Yeah,
You didn't
fair
want
enough.
that.
Fair enough.
You'd have sold it for scrap
It
yourself.
was like a horrible relationship. Like, we could fix you.
Yeah.
We can fix you.
I think though that was definitely because we had done some touring together prior to that, but that was one of the experiences of when we came back. You know, even through the trials and tribulations of it, by the time we all got back, I think it was the night that we came back and played at Propaganda. We all said if the RV pulled up right now,
We'd get right back
broken
in
and
go right back
battered,
on the
we'd
road.
all get back on it. So I think. I remember also like very kind of early on in our travels, like the term "lifer" getting thrown around, not by us, but kind of towards us.
It's like, if you're going to deal with this, you're obviously going to be doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, and like now that's evolved a little bit as we've gotten a little bit older, and I hopefully personally, I hope I'm looking at things a little more maturely. But
Terrible.
Why
but-
are we doing this
yeah.
to ourselves?
But transitioning to this type of project, it kind of fell into our lap on that last Amtrak tour, where the concept originally was just we want to pass the time. Let's see if we can write a song in each city. And
It was a game, essentially.
yeah, it was a game, and then like there comes like we've been doing quite a bit of press and talking and thinking about this. We've been saying it was a very democratic process, but I think also there is that subtle one-upsmanship between us of
Who's
like,
gonna bring the better
I wanna
idea
have
to the
this,
table.
I want to have a good idea here, and I want to have something that sticks out in
Yeah.
the song. So I think that really served a lot of the songs on the album.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about DDRB, because you both, I know, Dom, you have a solo project or a solo project that you've been working on for many, many years, traveling. Ricky, we talked at length when you were on the show with us about your various projects, the Shake, of course.
Still various.
Still various. And you have done some solo shows. I've seen you out and about.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy your original material myself. And you had another duo, and the name escapes me now.
Oh, Like Minds.
That's right.
Yeah, with Danielle.
Yeah. And so you've had your handful. So at what moment did you realize that the time you were spending on the train should become something more? You were writing songs, one-upping each other, and then you were like, "What? Why aren't we doing this together?"
I will be completely honest. I didn't realize how awesome this project was, for lack of a better word, until we played in our friend Kenny's backyard. And we had this record. We wrote the record. We recorded the record. We released it with River Monster Records and everything like that. And it was all good. And people were like, "Oh, we really like the songs." And then our friend Kenny's Calendar, which everybody knows Kenny's Calendar, Kenny asked us to play the record cover to cover in his backyard for another group friend that was going on a long distance.
Play it live.
Got
it.
So he was this guy, Mike, who is a friend of ours as well. He had a tragic situation happen in his family. He decided that he was going to take a cross-country trip, which he's still on, right?
Yeah,
he's still on it.
Colorado right now.
Yeah, so he's taking this cross-country trip. He's getting in his truck, and he's just going. And when he was prepping for this trip, he was listening to our record. And so Kenny told us this and was like, would you be, for his going-away party, would you come and play the record live? And we did, and after the fact, there was people that were coming up, and they were like, emotional from it. And, they connected with the stories we were telling and the songs and everything like that. And it was just like, him and I turned to each other, we're like, I think this is like something. Like this has become in just a quick moment much larger than we ever thought it would be. And for me, that was sort of the moment that was like the turning point that like, this is the kind of stuff that we need to do.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, when you create emotion with your music, definitely a light bulb will go off, and it's like, man, what are we doing? So with that in mind, you guys now co-write songs together.
Yeah.
Has your approach changed from writing as solo? I'm sure it has, but how has that changed? And was there ever any friction, or was it just kind of a natural thing?
I don't think we had too much friction. It was more for me. It was a new experience. I hadn't written lyrically with anybody before. We had worked together, like I said, on my last album and on my solo material, and in my full band, Ricky plays drums. So we had even been singing together for quite a while. I don't think I necessarily changed anything about my writing style, because I think we both kind of had a pretty similar idea of where we wanted the songs to go. In that, not only did we want them to be simple musically, but simple lyrically as well, to kind of really
simple melodies that you can be able to catch on to pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, he basically kind of does the same thing he does with his songs. I was one that really changed the way that I was writing, because he writes very autobiographically, and I never did that before. I always, I did, but it was like metaphor. And it was always be like, you could listen to the song, but you don't really know what I'm talking about. So I can be able to talk about really personal things, and only if you really ask what it's about would you understand those personal things. Here, it's like everything's out on the table, which is not something that I'm used to, and it makes me kind of my skin crawl to think about how vulnerable I have to be in these lyrics. But it's opened up this whole new world of writing that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been doing.
I always talk about the wince, and the wince is so important when you're writing. If you're writing a line and it makes you wince, like, you have to keep it. You can't throw that line away, because you
no matter how uncomfortable it makes you feel, right?
Because you said something true, and you said something that if it struck that chord with you, the writer, you can only imagine how it's going to land with somebody who's sitting there trying to consume it as an entire piece of art. So that's always kind of been a premise in my writing, and I think the train traveling aspect of our group really lends itself to that, where if you have this life experience, whether it's a great experience or a bad experience, and then you're stuck on a train for 8 hours to think about it, things creatively happen.
Yeah, like that first song we played, we started writing that waiting for the train. And we were literally standing at the train station waiting for the train to get there. We started writing the song, and then we had, I think you wrote your verse, and we had the concept, and we just played it into our phones. And then the next train from city to city, I was able to listen to the voice memo, write my lyrics for it, and then when we got to the next place, we put it all together, and that was Why Not, Why Not. Yeah. So it was like those type of experiences are really cool. Whether you're writing it at a train station or we're writing in a hotel, or we wrote in a park in St. Louis. We wrote on Beale Street because that's where we were, and those were the things that we were writing, and it was really cool. It was a cool experience to be able to write in different settings and sort of, because it was like gamified, because we were just kind of fucking around and like just writing these songs, and then when we got to the end of it, we're like, shit, I guess we're a band now. So
Yeah, no kidding. Well, speaking of writing, you guys released this is your first composition together as DDRB. This is Bright Green, and you just released that. When did you realize that you had just created a record and you needed to go and record it?
I mean, I think when we got like sort of like halfway through, we figured we would end up just releasing this.
Yeah, I mean,
We just didn't know, like,
don't-
DDRB was like, we're just going to call it DDRB because we couldn't come up with anything else.
yeah, and I think I can't speak for you, but I think that trying to look back on it now, I kind of think that I probably assumed that we'd bail out of the idea
Yeah.
halfway through or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
You
no,
know what I mean?
100%.
Like we'd
I was
probably
like, we're never going to do this.
we'd get hung up in a city, and then both of us would agree, all right, well, we did it, and we're done.
Which, and to be fair, almost did happen, because there's one song on the record called One Foot, and that's essentially all written by him, because he was writing that while we were in Memphis, and we had gotten into Memphis at like 6 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and we didn't have a hotel, and our next train was leaving. The train was leaving at like 4 o'clock in the
the
morning.
next day.
So we literally were just walking around Beale Street for hours on end. It was starting to get hot. That was the first time we ever got like irritated with each other. So he was kind of like, I was on the phone doing whatever. He was in his own world writing that song.
He was irritated with the situation.
I was not irritated
You're
necessarily
irritated
with him.
with the Amtrak tour.
Sure,
Yes.
it makes sense. Yeah,
It does turn on you sometimes.
It does,
Sometimes,
yeah.
sometimes the
you
train
have so
comes
much goddamn
kicks in.
downtime sometimes, and like if you're not, and like I wasn't in a creative space, and he was, so he essentially wrote that song, so it did happen in that way. I think another time, like, I was like,
There was the same
Springfield
thing,
was
yeah.
like sort of the same thing too, but that wasn't like I was irritated. I was just in a really creative spot. We were in the back of a pawn shop in.
That was our green room for the.
the green room for our show we played in St. Louis. We were in a pawn shop, and I just I had this idea, and I just started writing this song, and I showed it to him. I'm like, I think this is the song for Springfield, and he's like, fuck yeah, and he puts his verse to it, and we were done.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's been that easy so far, and like even like we released our first song recently. That was a song that wasn't written on the Amtrak tour, but it was still sort of written about an experience that we had on tours prior called Lost in Connecticut. And that was a song where I was like, I had the idea. I even posted the chorus on my own Instagram. And then I was like, maybe we should do the song. And he wrote a verse, and we did a bridge, and done. And it was just as easy as that.
it is one of my favorites that I listen to.
Lost in Connecticut?
Lost in Connecticut.
thank you.
It was really, really good. And all the songs really speak in a way that, like you mentioned, is very, very vulnerable. They paint a very specific image of what you guys were going through. It is beautiful.
Thank you.
So I could see that it would be, as somebody who writes in metaphor, I'm that way. I don't write very literally. A lot of the things that I write are, about my life, but through the eyes of someone else. It's like putting those experiences in some other character's body, and then that's my way of being able to give life to that, and then not have to deal with the repercussions of putting everybody dirty laundry out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I totally get that, and it's very cool to be vulnerable. That you are being vulnerable, and this record, it blew my mind.
Oh,
It's very, I was saying off the camera that it reminds me a lot of Simon and Garfunkel, and I told you that I grew up listening to their music. It's not the same by any means, but the intention of writing about experience really, I think, mirrors what those guys were doing back in the 60s, and it moved me. I could totally see where audiences would be moved by your performances. So speaking of those backyard small venue shows and those emotional reactions, is there any specific moment that moved you during a show like that?
I already spoke about mine, so.
Yeah, I mean, that show, the show at Kenny's Backyard was different more different than anything I'd played in any other project. So it was something that I think we always strive for that type of reaction, right? But most of the time we kind of expect it to be in the context of a venue or a big festival or a big show or something like that.
Right.
And then to have it in such kind of the small,
Intimate
and DIY.
super
DIY,
it was like I
you
had a
know,
Mackie thumb,
respect.
and we just like plugged into the back of it because it was all I had.
Yeah, but kind of doing it in that way and getting that reaction kind of just cemented the core of this project of like, you know what, it is DIY and it is unpolished but great. And that show was just astounding to have people who have seen us over the years in different projects kind of coming up and telling us that we have something special.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that was really cool.
that was
That's
probably
the show
the
that
biggest
made
one.
us.
Yeah, because I mean, because really since then, like I'm a little OCD about counting shows, and so I count
Little OCD.
I count my solo shows, and I'm at 524, and then I count our shows, and we're at
Who's counting? You know.
we're at 13. So it's weird because we released the album in December of last year on Christmas Eve, I think.
Christmas Eve.
And then since then we've only played 13 shows. So
Which is very different from the way we normally do things because
Normally it's play as much as we can
We just
everywhere.
try to play as much as possible, and we decided for some reason to kind of back off this.
we started to learn lessons about market saturation
yeah,
and all that nonsense.
and it's like this is sort of the project because it's so small and so easy to move into so many different places that we were able to kind of try some of the things that we've learned over the last 5 years of playing together. And then the Kenny show was essentially, we had talked about like we should play this record cover to cover, and it could be like a theater style show where we tell the stories. And then Kenny asked us to do it, and I was like, Dom, this is our opportunity to be able to kind of test this out. So we did it, went over like gangbusters, and we were like, fuck it, let's actually book a gig and do it. So at Brewhouse Gallery, we did our first official show, and we sold the place out. And it was, people came up to us crying after, they were laughing the whole entire time. It was like one of those things where once again reaffirmed that this singer-songwriter, storyteller thing connects with people on such a different level than any of the other stuff that we had done before. Now, he's been doing the singer-songwriter thing for a while, and I never really dabbled into it, like here and there, but not really much. But so that's sort of his bread and butter. But then when we did it together and we were able to kind of play off of each other and stuff like that, including all of the experience that we have together, it just made it so much more relatable. It made it so much more, it was easier to be able to access the emotion for the audience as well as for us.
Nice. Well, it's beautiful. It's poetic, really. You always hope that a project that you're working on kind of comes together like that, right?
Yeah.
So, switching gears just a little bit, not really a whole lot, but folk music, as I mentioned earlier, kind of has a long tradition of trains and travel and carrying news between towns. So do you guys feel like you're kind of keeping that lineage alive in a new way? I have never heard of another group doing what you guys are doing in the way that you're doing it.
There are, and there's some doing it in arguably a more rustic way,
More traditional fashion.
traditional. I guess there's a band that I am absolutely in love with called Blossom and Bone, who I met them on tour a couple years ago, and I've been lucky to play with them a handful of times since then. But they're real train hoppers, and I mean they hop the freight trains, and they wrote an album doing that, which is a fantastic album. I don't know.
Real dedication to the train thing.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, is that even legal?
No,
Can you legally hop freight
to be
trains?
No, it
fair,
is. It is
never was legal.
It is highly illegal. But there was some naivety to, like, of course I know all these amazing folk writers, and I know, like, I've seen the pictures of Woody Guthrie on the train and all that stuff. But it never really occurred to me until we kind of started to do this. I mean, a little before this press tour.
Well, we never really spoke about it. I think
more
it was
when
kind
we
of
were
like,
doing like this project. I never had thought about the folk lineage of this, and I had started working on a book.
We'll get there.
yeah, working on a book about the tours and everything. And that's when, in the research of that book, I started to look back and find this lineage of people taking trains across the country to make music. And that it was kind of the same as this project, where it was almost just falling into our lap accidentally, you know. And then that's where there's a large chunk of creativity that I see in our very near future that is going to relate to that, simply because it's something that's fallen into our lap.
Now it's become very present in the way that we think about it. And I mean, like, yeah, there's obviously, I think it was like an air of tradition that we were talking about, that we were aware of. But for me, it was only like in this press tour for this tour is when that conversation started happening more. And I remember at one point in time, we were like, but right before a podcast, I was saying to him, I was like, shit, like we're like actually carrying the torch of a past generation of train traveling troubadours that have done. And it did not occur to me that that was the situation, because this is a very unique way to travel and unique way to be able to tour. I didn't even think about it before, and now it's like we're part of this lineage that he speaks of, and it's incredible to be, I mean, like even considered in the same room as 90% of the people that were doing this before us.
But well, the fact is, you are in there, and when I was researching this episode to have with you, just listening to you guys talk about your experiences and why, the why of why you're doing it.
Why not?
It scared the shit out of me. I looked at like I had to like sit with myself and my feelings for a little bit, because I don't know if I could pull something like that off. I have my own set of OCD and insecurities, and to get on a train with just my guitar and not knowing what I'm going to get into at the other end, I try to be as prepared as possible, not just musically, but prepared
for everything
in terms of.
See, that's the way I am.
I want to know what the stage looks like, how much room am I going to have,
I'm the same way, and that's why I was so reluctant to do this tour in the beginning, because I was like, this seems like so many variables that can just go completely fucking south. And he was like, whatever, man, we're going to have a great time. And I was like, what the fuck, what are you talking about? And it wound up being like, even in like the one place where we played in Janesville, Wisconsin, we rolled up to this bar, and I turned around and I go, this is not going to go well. Like, this looks like a dirty biker bar. They're going to laugh us out of the fucking bar, because it was a dive bar. And it wound up being one of the most amazing communities that we've encountered in all of our travels. And they took us in like we were their own. And it was just like, we would have never done that if it wasn't for this train tour, because the train is what brought us there in the first place.
Yeah, I wonder if it has something to do with, or maybe the idea of people understand what's going on. It's not, you are not their normal guy that sits on the stage and plays guitars. So they know what you're doing, and I'm sure that you explain it during your show. So I wonder if it's just that they think it's cool that you decided to come to their little town off the tracks, and maybe a lot of people don't do that, because like I said, I don't think a lot of people are doing what you guys are doing in that capacity, where you are just finding the place right off the station, as close as you can get without having to catch
Take
a cab
4
or whatever.
buses to be able to get there,
exactly. Because if somebody was coming through our town, if we ever got a bright line, and it did something like that, I would think that was so cool. I would go to that show if it,
just out of curiosity, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys do any pre-marketing, like social media marketing, anything like that prior to arriving to these places?
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to get better at it, and trying to use like the techniques that we've learned over the last couple of years of doing our own bands to try and make this, a little bit more socially active. But it's like, one of the things that we wanted to do with this project was to be able to run it where we didn't feel like we were working all the time. And that's why like the theater show is like, that's like the big ticket item in our arsenal. Because if we could do that, that's a good paying show. And it gives us a lot of visibility. So then we don't necessarily have to do all the fucking TikTok dances and everything like that. So one of the things that we've done that I haven't seen really anybody else pay attention to, and this is, I mean, how nerdy do you want to get with the way that we do our marketing?
Let's go full original series Star Trek nerdy.
So everybody talks about AI right now. Like AI is like a really big thing. And in the music world, it's he's going to bowl over now. But
Turn my brain off for a
yeah.
little bit.
So AI in the music world is kind of a thing that people are very much against. But when it comes to generative AI, yes. But AI search engines are like the biggest thing right now. So if you were to go right now into Google and look up train traveling folk duo, everything about us will come up.
Awesome.
Because I have went through all of our social media, our websites, everything like that, and optimized us for AI search engines. So when people are just like, they heard about this train traveling folk duo, they're like, what the? And they look up train traveling folk duo.
And you guys
It
pop up.
pops up everything about us, who we are, where to listen to our music, everything like that. So we are trying to think of out of the box ways to be able to do that. And because AI search engines are becoming the thing, like Google now has AI mode. People use Claude, Perplexity, all that stuff like that to be able to search for things. 75% of people are now searching on AI search engines rather than regular search engines like Ask or anything like that. And most of the search engines are using AI anyways. So instead of getting a bunch of blue links, you now will get a full description of who we are. So you get to kind of
Very
know
cool.
who we are as opposed to just having to click through a bunch of links.
Right.
And you make that
do-
decision.
And do your own searching,
Yeah.
like we used to do back in the old days 2 years ago.
Yeah. So now, being AI optimized and meta AI starting to pull from the internet, we decided that we were going to go full PR. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing all these podcasts. And we have tons of written interviews that we've done. So now there's a bunch of text about us on the internet. So anytime that somebody looks us up, all of that stuff will come up. So if you look up DDRB, there's like a rehabilitation clinic
Something like
that,
that.
that shares the same thing. So we've been trying to separate ourselves. That's why I like, so train traveling folk duo, anytime we do anything, train traveling folk duo has to be a part of it because that's how we stay optimized and stay at the top of everybody's list when it comes to what we do. So it's like niche marketing to a point, and it's hopefully going to keep us from having to do TikTok dances because that's shit that we don't want to do.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. But if you do, let me know. I want to be a part of it. I'm going to come and do the dance.
He's got a
with you.
video. He's got a video that he did on our Instagram, which was him waiting for me to come to rehearsal, and it's one of the funniest videos that I've seen, and it's one of the greatest productions that Dominic has ever put together. And if you have not checked it out, DDRB at DDRB Music on Instagram, check out the video. It's hilarious.
I'm going to have to do that. Before we get another song, tell me about the Buy a Mile program that you guys have put together for this.
Yeah,
'Cause I think that's a pretty interesting way of fundraising for this this venture.
Yeah, the Buy a Mile program was something that we came up with because, like as a DIY artist, it's really hard to be able to make money, obviously. And a lot of these shows that we're playing at are door deals, and we're hoping that we can be able to sell merch. So we figured that we can come up with something where essentially you are donating, but you're sponsoring. So every mile is $5. And if you send $5 to our Venmo, venmo.com/DDRBmusic, you can be able to sponsor a mile. And then as we go from city to city, we will shout out the people that sponsor that mile. So if it's 13 miles from New York to Philly, which is not, then those people, when we get to Philly, then we'd be like, all right, these past 13 miles were sponsored by so-and-so, so-and-so, thank you, so-and-so, blah, blah. So it's an opportunity for people to kind of help us out. They get a shout out on our social media, but also it's for like small businesses. You want a really cheap shout out on social media to our organic audience, $5, and you could be able to do it. So that's sort of we've been pushing towards, and we've had a couple of small businesses that have put in $5, $10, something like that. We've had friends that have bought 20 miles, and really helped us out, which there's no limit. You can buy all the miles if you want to. But and also too, if you don't have $5 and you want to send us $2 works too. So because it's like what we were talking about earlier, the hotels now, 11 cities, 11 hotels as opposed to before, our travel expense nearly tripled.
Goes
from
up
the
a
last
little
story.
bit there.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I started to think too that like when I was on the solo, when I would do these by myself, I didn't mind staying in like hostels a lot. So I would, you can find a hostel sometimes for $16 a night
Right.
and stuff. I think the hostel market went up to about like $30 a bed now for a night, and that's when it's like 2 people. It's like, okay, well, I can get
For another $20.
for another $20, I can just get a hotel room.
Don't
and,
worry
and
about
we
a
have
bunk.
our own beds
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So the hosteling, like,
Plus, it's a place for us to be able to write the next album. So.
yeah.
Yeah, without worrying about Gustav.
Yeah.
And then in the next curtain
Fucking
over.
Gustav.
Well, right on, man. Well, why don't you guys jam another tune out for us? I'm sure they'd love to hear it out there, and then we're gonna wrap up this interview, and then Derek's gonna make some cocktails.
Do you want to do Lost in Connecticut, or you want to do Woody?
We'll do Woody.
Okay.
Do Woody.
Since we spoke about Woody, our Lord and Savior, Woody Guthrie.
This is my new guitar too, and this guitar's named Woody.
Yes, the guitar. He names his guitars like a weirdo.
I think it's actually weird if you don't. It's probably more common to name guitars.
I've never named a guitar in my life. Do you name your guitars?
That's a yes.
I don't ever give them cute names. I guess it's pretty cute, but my guitar out in the living room is called Butterscotch.
That's about
But
as
it's
cute
literally
as
just
it
the
gets.
color
What
of
are
it.
you
I was gonna
talking
say, what
about?
do you mean it's not a cute name?
It's cute. It is cute.
This isn't cute. This is my guitar, Candy Cane.
I'd like to introduce you to Fluffy.
Anyway, this is an unreleased song, and we're still working it out. So the song's about Woody Guthrie.
Yeah, we are. So just bear with us on this one. Bear with me. He knows it better than I do.
Ready?
Yeah.
I think I'd rather die out on the road. It's better that than an old man in a nursing home with pictures and memories of ghosts. A younger version of him who swore that he would try the most. Yeah, I think I'd rather die out on the road. I think I'd rather die out on the train. It's better that than an old man slowly going insane with these memories eating at his brain. He recalls the faces, but he just can't place the name. Yeah, I think I'd rather die out on a train. I don't wanna die like Woody Guthrie. I don't think you want that life for me. I think I'd rather die out in the country. Just leave my bones underneath the trees. I'm singing, Woody, don't you leave.
I can't see myself in just one place. I've been here and there and I prefer the other way, and it conjures up a sad look on your face. But please don't take it personal, you'll understand one day. I just can't see myself in one place. I don't wanna die like Woody Guthrie.
I don't wanna die like Woody Guthrie. Oh, I don't think you want that life for me. I think I'd rather die out in the country. Just leave my bones underneath the trees. Oh, I'm singing, Woody, don't you leave. I'm singing, Woody, don't you leave. I think I'd rather die all on my own. It's better that than leaving my lover all alone, just sitting and waiting by the phone. It may never ring, I might never make it home. Yeah, I think I'd rather die all on my own. I don't wanna die like Woody Guthrie. I don't think you want that life for me. I think I'd rather die out in the country. Just leave my bones underneath the trees. I'm singing, Woody, don't you leave. I'm singing, Woody, don't you leave.
Nicely done, fellas.
We got through it.
Woody Guthrie. Jordan, who has recently seen the Bob Dylan fantasy biopic. Now she knows who Woody Guthrie is.
And Pete Seeger.
And Pete Seeger. I got to open a show once upon a time for Arlo Guthrie and Sebastian. And got to go on his little tour bus that he used to, even though his house was right up the street, he would bring his tour bus out to go hang out. And
like you do.
I was super young too, so I was really starstruck. And yeah, it was super cool. And we played our show, and then Arlo came on and melted our faces. I was like, this is insane. But you guys have another tune?
We do.
Up your
Yeah, we can do
sleeves?
one more.
Yeah, we got some love out there for you.
It's Capo 4, right?
Capo, fuck you.
Starts with an F still. So this is Lost in Connecticut. And this is one of the songs that we wrote outside of the train tour. And it talks about a time that we actually sort of got lost in Connecticut. Connecticut was very eerie. That's what you always say. It's like very Sleepy Hollow-ish. And when we're sitting at home waiting to go on tour, we always think about we'd much rather be lost in Connecticut than just sitting at home waiting to be lost in Connecticut. Does that make sense?
Nope.
Okay. Now I can't remember the words.
You don't want to be lost in Connecticut.
No, apparently I want to be lost in this song. It's
Optimized we are. I don't know.
yeah,
That's
no.
Google.
I've been spending all my time optimizing that I wasn't spending time learning the lyrics.
Google our own lyrics.
Why can't I remember this first lyric?
It's always the first line.
This is a perfect time to be able to go to our Instagram.
Oh, somebody just sent us $5 for.
Hey, look at that, $5. That's
Thank
what
you.
I'm talking about. You go to our Venmo and you can add DDRB music, and you can be able to send, so I can get some ginkgo biloba and remember what the fucking lyrics are.
Oh, there's a lot of bands.
You're googling our lyrics right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of bands with a song called Lost in Connecticut.
Oh, it is what it is. Okay, all right.
I think one was by System of a Down.
No, I don't think that's true at all. I think it might have been by Metallica.
Yeah, I can't help you, buddy.
I have no idea why I can't remember this lyric. This is so bizarre. I know it's something about I've more home. I don't know why. Can't remember. This is so bizarre. We played it like literally in every session that we've done.
Yeah, it's our single right now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They probably played it more than any other song at this point in time.
Okay. Well, let's play something.
So I could probably cheat for you if you want.
You're gonna play the song real quick?
Yeah, I could probably.
This is so embarrassing. Why can't I remember this? But you can't remember us. I don't feel that embarrassed.
Yeah. I don't sing.
I'm
I don't
just
sing the
cracking
part
up on
though.
the inside here.
No, this is because this happens. Sometimes, especially when we're doing so much
I
press.
feel at home.
That's it. Okay, right.
You should feel
Rewind.
bad now because I remembered it.
Yeah. Now I feel like a dickhead. All right, let's try this. I feel at home at a rest stop on the highway. I feel at home in New Jersey at a little place right there on Canal Street. Who eats barbecue in New Orleans?
I know I cannot get stuck in bed again. I'd rather be broke down and lost in Connecticut. Somewhere on the open road that I call home. That I call home. I feel at home, cramped inside suitcase. I feel at home on this stage. I feel at home, traveling all these miles, constantly crossing off the states. I know I cannot get stuck in bed again. I'd rather be broke down and lost in Connecticut, somewhere on the open road that I call home, that I call home. I found a little piece of me, broken and scattered where the highway markers meet. I know I can't rinse and repeat, I just gotta get some miles under my feet. I know I cannot get stuck in bed again. I'd rather be broke down and lost in Connecticut, somewhere on the open road that I call home, that I call home.
I remembered it. Well, you remember it.
I remember
You remember the rest of it. That's really what matters.
I
I
What was
gotta
that
tell
one
you
word?
guys, I'm gonna have to listen to the record again.
Us
but,
too.
But that,
Apparently.
apparently, but truly, that song is awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
It
you very
really
much.
like it spoke to me when I heard it the first time, and I actually clipped it in case, because the truth be told, you guys out there, the weather is terrible in South Florida, so
Not great.
It was touch and go whether these guys are going to make it in enough time to sound check. So I was like, no worries. I'll just queue up some videos. I'll steal some other videos of you guys performing, and and we'll get it through it. We'll make it work. And that was one of them. And I was listening to it. And I was like, this song is just
Thank you so much.
next level.
Thank you.
Especially when you remember the words.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah. Those are the words.
Just so you know, Ricky, I looked up Lost in Connecticut song, and if you look that up, the first 8 things are you guys.
Hey,
all
we're
right, I'll take that.
optimized.
We're
Welcome
well
to the future,
optimized.
man.
Take that, System Up and Down.
And I do want to harken back to a comment that we had earlier from our friend Ann tuning in, and she said, "Damn, used to party in Janesville when I was too young to party."
Yeah.
It's a good place for a party for sure.
Yeah, and we were at the Zox Club.
Yep.
I don't know if you ever partied at the Zox Club, but what was the name before the Zox Club? I don't remember.
I don't know what it was called before the Zox Club, but it was on the property of the old GM plant, which was at the time that it was operational, it was the largest GM plant in the country, and that
was the bar where the workers used
Yeah,
to
it was
go
pretty
to.
much the employee bar. So at the end of the shift, when they wanted to go have a couple pops, they went over to the Zox Club.
I'm sure she's
a
been
couple
there.
pops. Well,
Way to
awesome,
really
guys.
keep it in there, you know?
I just want to we'll kind of wrap this up a little bit here. You guys mentioned you wanted the final show of the tour to kind of be within walking distance of the train in West Palm Beach. So any ideas of where that is, or are you going to keep that under wraps until a little bit later on?
No, so our final show is actually not going to be walking distance from West Palm Beach, unfortunately, because we could not be able to figure out.
But we are going to break the law a little bit to try and get close.
Yeah, we're going to try and get as close as possible.
So we had already booked our ticket from Orlando home, and we got Orlando to West Palm on the Amtrak, and now our show is actually in Boca.
Yeah, so now it's at Prosperity Brewers in Boca, and that's our
great
final
spot.
show.
Yeah.
And
We're just gonna stay on the train. We'll explain
be like,
it very
hey, we're just
nicely.
like,
Like,
one more
look,
stop. Can we just go like one more stop?
It's one stop. Like we'll slip the guy a tenner or something, and he'll be cool with it.
Yeah, there's just
They don't care.
I think it's one of those things. Like if it's not busy, like we're literally going like it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, and if not, what are they going to do? Just
If-
kick us off
yeah.
and we're in West Palm? Oh no.
If they give us a
True.
tough time, we'll just hop off.
Yeah.
But
So
I think
Well,
that'll be cool.
definitely keep me updated on that
Yeah.
on that experience. That sounds fun.
Yeah, make
you'll
sure
be
you
bailing
follow-
us out.
make sure you follow
Fair
us
enough.
on Instagram because we're going to be documenting the whole entire thing, and you could be able to kind of see how the whole entire thing goes. So
Love that. So, I guess the big question is, after this tour, what's next for DDRB? Is there more traveling, a second album, expanding on the stories that you started telling?
Yeah, I mean, if it's up to me, there's always more traveling involved.
there's always more traveling.
So yeah, D, all of the above. We're definitely planning on writing on this tour. It's a little bit of it's a different concept, though, I think, this time around, because, you know, I don't think that we really knew what we had the first time we were going into writing, you know, and putting together an album. Now there's even some concepts that stretch past this album we haven't even written yet.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. We're
coming in with a preconceived notion of what we're doing, as opposed to before when we were just kind of
stumbling,
it was gamified,
wandering
like I
around.
said.
Right.
So it was
We
just
were
like
exploring. Yeah.
So now, like, I think, like, for the both of us, we have a focus that we want to write the record, but we also want to not. I don't think that we want to, like, be too focused on the fact that we're writing the record, so that we can keep it as fresh as the last one was.
I think it's like a fear of analyzing your songwriting process, like for fear of breaking the machine somehow. You know what I mean?
Right. You don't want to put too much pressure on it. You just want to kind of want it to happen. Yeah. I get that.
And keep it fresh, like, to the point where, like, we're writing new stuff in every city. We're not just, like, backlogging. We're like, oh, I wrote this progression 3 months ago. Let's use it for this. Like, trying to write in the moment chords that attach themselves to the stories as opposed to the other way around.
I love that. Well, you guys, is there anything additional that you want to kind of tie into to this before we take a little break?
I mean, just follow us on social media. You can go to our website, or if you want, Google Train Traveling Folk Duo, and you can find everything about us right there. And support your local musicians.
Awesome. Yeah, I do want to mention that our friend Jaybird, who's tuning in, he's the one that sent you that $5.
Thank you, Jaybird.
Jaybird.
Awesome.
Appreciate
All right,
you,
you
buddy.
guys. Well, we're going to an amazing adventure. I'm so stoked for you guys. I don't envy you, but I think
You got to
what
do
you're
it
doing-
once, and then you'll understand.
Nope.
I will live vicariously.
That's fine.
through
That's
you.
what the next record's all about.
Yeah.
Even better. We're going to take a quick break, you guys. When we return, it's time for Captain Cocktail's Bargatory and a round to name that tune. So stick around. This is Jams and Cocktails.
Jams and Cocktails will return in a moment. But first, a shout out to our September keg sponsor, the JNC Arcade. Visit jncpodcast.com to play our fun games. Would you like to become a JNC keg sponsor? Reach out and ask how. And now, back to the jams and the cocktails.
Captain Cocktail, he's amazing. Captain Cocktail, when he's shaking, mixing up your favorite boozy treats. He's gonna make your happy hour sweet. Captain Cocktail, he's pouring them strong. Captain Cocktail, come on along. It's Captain Cocktail.
Good evening, jammers. I am Captain Cocktail, and tonight we're going to make a pretty special cocktail, one that I haven't even tried yet. So let's see how it goes. It's called the Alligatorade, and with football season starting, I thought it would be a great cocktail to try tonight. We start with some fresh pineapple. You're going to muddle that up, crush it up, get some of the juices going. We're going to take our bitters, give it 3 shakes. Use that sparingly, but the bitters go a long way. Take your favorite coconut water. You're going to do 3 ounces of the coconut water. Take your Absolute Citron or whatever your favorite citrusy liquor would be. Do about 2/3 of an ounce. Put that in there. We're going to add some ice. Give it a nice shake. Incorporate everything in there together. Get a fresh glass with ice. Strain what you got. I've been given a hard time about not having garnishes, so garnish it with a pineapple wedge, and there you go, your Alligatorade.
Alligatorade.
Let's give it a little try. That's good. That's refreshing. Brad, you want to give it a try?
Yeah, why not? Let's give it a little try here. I was intrigued.
So was I.
It really tastes like Gatorade.
Right?
Alligatorade.
And while we're here, I'm going to make Brad have a shot with me of the new Blazing Apple Fireball.
Just what we need.
Yeah, it is.
All right, buddy. Blazing Apple.
Blazing
It
Apple.
was only a matter of time before they came up with this.
Had to.
Cheers, buddy.
Salud.
Yeah, just about as terrible as I expected it to
Yeah,
be.
me too.
It's
Definitely.
Wake up, it's beer 30.
That was good.
one.
Beer 30, my favorite time of day. I've been watching the clock and the time keeps ticking away. I'm taking care of business, I'm a hard-working man, you see. Until beer 30 comes to take care of me.
Live TV, folks. Live
Amen.
TV. Like Derek, he's not even here.
I was gonna say that fireball. What was
They
it?
got him.
Fireball, blazing balls.
ass.
Blazing ass.
Yeah, we stopped at the right time.
Yeah.
I will say that like when we stopped drinking liquor or when we stopped drinking in general, everything went to shit.
The world went crazy.
The world went absolutely
World
crazy
went
in the liquor thing. It's
absolutely
like now
crazy.
it's like mountain, like hard Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need any of that in our lives. I'm a classic cocktail guy. I don't need to do any of that.
The hard Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I would imagine.
God, yeah. I didn't think it was.
Thought that was a good idea.
No, oh my God, they have like hard Dunkin' Donuts coffees.
Yeah.
now
Oh,
out
I did
there.
see that too.
Seen
That's what I'm
that.
saying.
It's so
We
crazy.
left at the right
Well,
time.
no, I think even didn't
Those
PB,
not your no, is that not your
PBR
father's root beer or like that? Yeah, those are
PBR had a
They did a seltzer.
PBR had a coffee,
Oh, that's
a coffee
right.
beer.
That's right.
Alcoholic coffee. Yeah. That might have been right before I stopped drinking.
What else did I see? I saw Sunny Delight. Sunny D
yes.
has a
Yeah, that's another one too.
Jameson has a Jameson orange, which that
Oh, yeah.
one when I first saw that I was like,
That's
No, that's
sacrilege.
not for me.
It's delicious, though.
Yeah, but it's sacrilege.
It is
You don't put-
sacrilegious.
you don't, if you want orange in your Jameson, you buy an orange.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I can't take that away from you.
It probably tastes delicious.
Then again, this is two sober guys talking shit about alcohol. So
I was gonna say, but listen. But to be fair, also too, one of the reasons why we stopped, we just got too good at it.
yeah,
We had to retire. We had to
retire
leave some
early.
for you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you did.
Yeah. Now you have hard Mountain Dew.
I do have to say though, we have a brand new partner on the podcast here, and if you've had too much to drink, now you could cure your hangover with Chaser water.
I already drank mine.
It's
I'm such a-
infused with like salts and minerals, and it tastes
no
like water.
artificial flavors in this water. Says
That-
it right on the can.
It's about as water as it gets.
Yeah, I mean,
That should be the new slogan.
high quality
Chase water.
H2O.
It's about as water as it gets.
I'll talk to the guys.
You guys can take that one.
Yeah, no, don't take it. No. We need to pay for another tour.
But yeah, thanks to Al Beltran for hooking us up with some Chaser water today.
Big
And,
Al.
we hope to do. I feel like it's a great a great partnership. Jams, cocktails, and then chaser water to cure the ills that are sure to come with it. All right. Well, now that we're all here, you guys comfortable at the desks now?
This is nice.
I bet the chairs are a little more comfortable than those stools for sure.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of this very often. It's a lot of that.
Yeah. That's fair. Well, good. Now it's time to put your brains, that gray matter, to work and put Derek to actual physical labor here.
Attaway.
It's time to once again put our knowledge of popular music to the test.
Ooh.
In a round of Name That Tune. Here we go.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. You're going down, guy.
You're just not going to be able to read anything.
All right. Here we are.
Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, I do want to just quickly, before we get into this, apologize to our live viewers. I guess we had a little outage there for a minute. Derek did not trip over the main broadcast cord, but I had every opportunity to
Catching
every opportunity to cast the blame.
Been all over the comments.
Not sure what's.
God damn it, Derek.
The truth is, they're putting fiber in our neighborhood. They've cut our internet line already. The guy was super cool and came and ran our internet line up the power line so that they stopped destroying it underground.
Oh, wow.
And so who knows what's going on out there. I can't wait for fiber, so I can't even get mad because I want the product so bad. But yeah, so we apologize. We'll fix it in post. It's been going smooth sailing here so far. Knock on wood. All right. You guys ready to play?
Sure.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
We invite all of our live viewers to play along with us in the chats and comments. We're looking for the name of the song and the artist or band performing it. Tonight's category is, you might have guessed, train songs. Nice job, Dom.
All right, I'm starting
What
off.
the hell happened?
If you want attention, just ask
I'm
for
used
it.
to the industrial dryer.
The industrial ones.
This is a little bit lighter.
Wait, got away from me there.
We got to cut corners where we can. All right, you guys, ready for the first clue? Be sure to write it down and just keep it to yourselves. We're gonna let our pupils out there try to guess in the chats and comments, and there's probably a massive delay, so no idea what's going on out there in internet land today. Here we are, first clue. Here it is again.
I don't know if I know the exact name of this, but
Spelling and exact names count. No points otherwise.
I have the worst penmanship. That's why this is just horrible.
I'm kidding. If you get in and around the answer there,
Yeah, I think I got pretty close.
you get points and then you win the prize.
I don't think I got this. Well, I definitely
don't know this one at all?
No, I don't even have the song title.
Oh,
I'm kind of guessing here.
just guess.
I don't know what the name
All
of
right.
the song is.
All right, the answers are coming in.
Oh,
Nailing it. Let's
man.
You know it now after you wrote it.
yeah.
Should've
I knew it
asked
was the
some
Doobie
language.
Brothers.
let's see what you guys got.
Oh, jeez.
It's not super duper love. No.
No,
Hell,
What do you guys have?
Mine's awful. Is it the Doobie Brothers? I wrote Aretha Franklin.
You thought that was Aretha Franklin?
See, it's
get your fucking ears
not
shut.
Aretha
Oops.
Franklin. What do you got?
I
Ricky?
put Doobie Brothers Long Train Running.
yeah.
That is correct.
Is that the right name of the song too?
Long Train Running.
That was a woman.
Nope, not this
What
time.
would you do now?
I'm not too familiar with the Doobie Brothers.
You're gonna get smoked in this.
Oh, they have so many good tunes, man.
Doobie Brothers?
That's where Michael
Yeah.
McDonald came from.
To give him a spell.
Taking it to the street. Taking it to. You never heard that song?
No.
Oh, wow.
I'll learn you some.
Yeah. All these train songs. All right. Here's one, perhaps a redemption.
We'll find out. Oh, he knows this one right off rip. Some 80s song.
Some 80s song. Derek, do you need it one more time?
Nope, it's not ringing a bell at all.
Really?
Yep.
I feel
God,
like
don't
I might,
even.
I
As
feel-
soon as he played that Doobie Brothers clip for so long, I was like, how is nobody getting this?
I feel like this. I recycled this clip from a different game.
You did.
And it's a terrible one for this. It was great for that instance. It's probably like legendary guitar solos or something. But all right, what do you guys got? It's coming in on the chats.
Yeah.
These crazy people.
I mean,
I love the song.
I know I've got this.
Yeah.
Do you have anything
I
written?
do have something written, but I don't know what it.
Well, you got to go.
All right, let's see what Don's got.
Because I know I'm right.
Okay.
But he can't change it. So.
It's Crazy Train by Ozzy, specifically the live version with Randy Rhoads solo.
Nice, very good. What do you got, Ricky?
I wrote Last Train Home. I was just taking a guess. I figured it had to have train in it.
My dad was a giant Randy Rhoads fan.
See, my dad was a giant Doobie Brothers fan. So.
Yeah. So I remember Jack Black right before. I don't know if it was right before Ozzy died, but Jack Black did that video of Mr. Crowley.
Yeah.
And Tom Morello's son is playing guitar on it and does Randy Rhoads solo. It's amazing.
It's it was that was a very cool tribute. That whole tribute concert was crazy good.
Oh, so good.
If you would have played the initial riff, I would have known it was crazy.
Of course.
Well, of course.
But if you just like, see, I know the song, but I didn't know
Randy Rhoads.
at minute 3.5. You know,
around the time of that tribute show, I showed my wife. There's the tribute album, which Ozzy put out right after Randy Rhoads died. And it's all these live recordings. And, like, there are some things that guy did on guitar that, to this day, I'm like, how does he make a guitar sound like that?
Right. It kind of makes you wonder
30, 40 years later.
If he had lived, would he have surpassed Eddie Van Halen as a guitarist? Because I feel like they were very similar in the way that they played at the time. But obviously Eddie had many, many more years to hone his craft.
Right.
And so it just makes you wonder what could have been.
things that make you go,
Next tune. Name that tune.
15 cars and 15 restless riders.
Train Songs is the theme, by the way.
Yeah.
Derek's having a meltdown over there.
This is every week. It's all good.
15 restless riders.
Oh my God, I'm just trying to.
I wish I could say that it gets easier from here, but I'm not sure that it does.
I do have some music trivia that has nothing to do with any of this well, not really trivia, but a fun fact that I learned today.
What's your fun fact?
So did you know that when recording Roxanne, there at the very beginning of the recording, you'll hear like a chord that doesn't belong very quietly. It's because Sting fell on the piano. They didn't think it was ever going to be a hit, so they just left it in.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. We have to pull that up.
That might be something we have to look into.
That might be a new game.
Yeah.
Weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there a oh God, there's a reggae tune where it clearly sounds like somebody banged into their amplifiers and the reverb coil.
You hear the
is just going
reverb coil.
crazy.
There's a Billy Joel song where you can hear a car horn in the middle of a horn medley that's going on the Stranger record. I think it was Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. In like the second part of the song, there's like this horn part, and there's a random car horn that comes through because they didn't think that anybody would notice that it was in there.
Interesting. Yeah. Things that make you go home.
Things that make you go,
Yeah.
What do you guys got?
I don't know. I was even trying to look at the chat to cheat, and I couldn't even. So I'm going Elton John. Sounded kind of like Elton John to me.
All right.
I wrote Cat Stevens.
Cat Stevens.
I don't have a thing, but Anne says City of Nola.
I was gonna say that, but
That would
it's
be
bullshit.
That would
You were
be
not gonna say that.
accurate.
No, I was gonna say that because I was cheating from the chat. I didn't know that was the answer, though.
It is the city of New Orleans. This particular version by Arlo Guthrie.
Man, we look like frauds.
I'm gonna have Anne just message me privately and tell me the answers.
But they're on a
there you
delay,
go.
so it's gonna be like you're gonna be like, hang on a second, hang on a second.
I can
Yeah.
make up stories all the time. No
You
worries.
came up with that Roxanne bit. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can just keep going.
Willie Nelson did a good version of that tune.
That's like Arlo Guthrie's like most famous song.
It
too,
is.
right?
It would definitely be one of Alice's Restaurant, arguably the most famous, but only on Thanksgiving for some reason.
I just heard the voice and I was like, that voice sounds very kind of stringy. Maybe it could be Cat Stevens.
And David Goodman actually wrote that song, and he does a really nice version of it too. If you don't, right? Steve Goodman.
Steve Goodman?
David Goodman, he's a player around town here.
Oh.
I wish he'd have written it. Steve Goodman wrote that tune.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve the Pirate.
Yeah.
Steve.
He also wrote the
Gutenberg.
perfect country and western song for David Allan Coe. Another story for another time.
Okay.
Next clue.
All right.
Bought a one-way ticket back to the light.
It does get easier.
Bought a one-way ticket back to the light.
Oh, who sings this damn song?
That lady.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thanks,
not
Eric.
It's not Brad either.
It's not me, not this time.
I don't know. This may be right. I know the song's right, but I don't know if I have the artist right.
All right.
What you got, Dom?
Lost in Connecticut by System of a Down.
That is not right. What do you got there?
Midnight Train to
Midnight Train
Georgia?
to Georgia is correct.
I got Midnight Train in Georgia, and I put it was by Gladys Knight.
Gladys Knight. That's a great way to spell it, too.
I have no idea. Spelling and penmanship are not. I'm
What the
remembering
hell
lyrics.
does that say?
Gladys Knight
Midnight Train to Georgia.
and the Pips.
Was that right?
There you go.
Classic. It's a great tune.
Such a good song.
All right, I got one more clue for you guys tonight.
Let's do it.
I don't know. Let's see. It's been wonky, man. You guys have been off and on.
I know.
Hot and cold. Here's that clue.
Driving that train, high cocaine.
What the heck is the
No,
name
this
of that
one.
song?
Here it is one more time.
Driving that train, high cocaine.
I know the song. I cannot think of.
Thank you.
It's
I'm
like
so
I know,
glad.
like I know the song. Like you can play that clip over and over again, and I'm still gonna know the song and not know.
Well,
Do you know it?
I'll give you a clue. The title of the song is the very next couple of words in that line.
Driving that train, high cocaine.
Jaybird, nice job.
I should be looking at the chat. I'm really missing out on this. Could be pulling a Derek right now.
Yeah,
I'm
you could
taking
be.
Oh, you didn't write anything out.
Taking
Invisible ink there. It's exactly the
Calling me
right
on.
answer.
You were
Nothing.
waiting. I thought you were waiting on the chat.
Oh no.
My bad.
I
I
started.
didn't mean to do. I didn't mean to be to besmirch you, Derek. I
Nope.
apologize.
No worries, no worries. I get it all the time. I mean, I tripped over the main feed cord and
You're just being blamed for everything.
oh, of
For
course.
everything.
Ever since I dropped a cake
You dropped a cake.
one time.
Yeah, he dropped a whole cake right down what we call the cake,
cake
hole,
hole.
which is in the between the tables here. It was my wife's birthday cake,
I died on the inside.
and Derek was holding it. And he was tilting it just to show the camera, and it went shoop right off the little thing,
It's
right down
Plastic
the.
bottom with a cardboard bottom, and it just.
You didn't realize that the cardboard bottom was there, and
Yeah, it just slipped right up. But luckily, it hit the ground in such a way that
Perfectly.
it landed perfectly and did not.
We still ate it
Yeah,
on the cardboard. Never came off the cardboard. Never.
I mean,
yeah, it was awesome.
you're obviously a magician.
Exactly. It was meant to be that way.
Yeah.
I just died
It's on
the
purpose.
inside.
It was a bit. All right, let's see what you guys got.
Grateful Dead. I don't know. the song,
Grateful
man.
Dead is correct.
Oh damn it! I said
I wrote Grateful
I
Dead.
said fish.
Oh wow, that's a
They were
good
like,
offshoot.
Same.
Same, but different.
Derek
Same, but
had
different.
nothing. Derek, this was a
He
rough
wrote
game
numbers
for you.
in a
This-
corner.
I did have Grateful Dead at one point.
Oh.
And then I second guessed myself, and yeah.
I knew it was one of those jam bands. It was either Grateful Dead or it was going to be Fish.
Casey Jones is the name of the song.
But it never in a million years. Not Deadhead.
No, our good pal Joe's a wasn't Joe a deadhead for a while?
I think he is still.
It's still.
He just doesn't like to talk about it in front of us because we make fun of him.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
That's fine though. He'll get over it.
He's a growing lad.
Boy.
Put some hair on his chest, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
Derek,
I was gonna put that song was sung by Brad at some point in time in one of his shows, but I've used that one too many times.
yeah, that was a lot to write too. That was definitely a lot.
By
to write.
Brad at some point in time in one of his shows over the past year and a half since I saw him at the.
Oh, the past 30 years since I
Yeah.
met him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he
No.
sang it once.
Might have actually. I love that song.
I couldn't have named that. Even if you said that, I'd be like, okay, sure.
Casey Jones is not the. Still, I don't.
Casey Jones is the guy that wears the mask in Teenage Mutant
Teenage
Ninja
Mutant
Turtles.
Ninja Turtles,
That's the only
right?
thing I remember. That's
true.
Casey Jones.
Yep.
You don't know about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Come on, Tom.
No, Casey Jones. No,
You don't know about Casey Jones?
I don't know Casey Jones.
Oh Lord,
Is that the
From
chick?
the Ninja
How
Turtles?
old
Is that
are
the
you?
chick?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, let's ask that question.
I'm 30. 30 years old.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh, just a little suckling pig over
I had
there. All right,
the animated Batman series. That was my shit. That was
all
my
right.
shit growing up.
Animated
I watched
Batman.
that too.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'm 37.
Talk about a
I watched them both, and I'm not either of those ages.
talk about animated Batman.
Magicians have no age.
Yeah.
You remember the theme song for that? It went
Dude.
hard, man. I was
It's-
like, that is orchestral.
It's on one of the streaming services, but like I used to, this is back in the days where you would go to like 123movies.com and you could steal movies and TV shows
Oh yeah,
that way.
no, I remember that. Yeah,
That's when like the animated Batman series was my go-to. Absolute favorite TV show.
Now it's streaming services.
Now it's streaming services.
God, it'll never be as good as it was.
I think, you know, steal videos, man. Just steal them. Pirate them. Be a pirate. Don't steal this one.
No. Don't
Watch
steal
this video, but like movies and stuff, steal them. Who cares?
No, I would really like anybody to steal this. Just share it with all your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Give it a thumbs up. Share it with all your friends. Steal it. Rip it down.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, do all of that. We would love that tremendously.
Like and commit crime.
All right. Hey, listen, we did not get to talk about the book that we were supposed to circle back
That's
to,
very
Dom.
true.
So, do you want to? You were working on a book,
I was working on a book, and then I finished it.
and then you finished it.
I did. This is Playing to Nobody and Sometimes Everybody. It'll be coming out in November. It's a story about the first 2 Amtrak tours that I did by myself, and then the 3rd tour that started DDRB. It's coming out in paperback, hardback, hardcover. Hardback.
I got a hardback.
Paperback,
about a hardback.
hardcover, and ebook in November. And yeah, it took a really long time to finish everything. I think that the story it's conversational, it's relatable, it kind of takes you on the trip with us so that you really feel like you are on these train adventures, experiencing things the same way that we did.
And there's not many bands out there that have an origin story in a book.
Yeah, that's true. You know, it really wrote itself. I was journaling a lot. I journal kind of regularly when we travel and stuff, and that
Nerd.
definitely helped out. And yeah, so
This is fucking.
hey man,
What are you doing, you weirdo?
Oh man, I
Making
journal.
money.
I journal all the time. And when I was a performer on cruise ships for many years, I journaled almost every single day. It's wild out there on them high seas.
oh yeah.
Why haven't you written a book?
Listen, man, I have to hire a lawyer first before I tell some of those stories.
So funnily enough, with this book, my stepmother is, both my parents are English teachers. My stepmom has her master's, and so I sent her the book, and I was like, hey, you got a good eye for this, you know, tell me if anything's wrong. She was like, yeah, there's a couple periods and punctuation things you got to fix up. But then she started asking about certain names in the book. She's like, there's one specific name that you got to change. And I was like, what do you mean I got to change it? She's like, oh no, like this person can sue you. Like you got to change this name. So I did have to go back and check a couple things and change a couple names and stuff. But yeah, the stories that are in the book, there's some funny ones about accidentally smuggling weed into Canada.
Oh, nice.
There's
Nothing incriminating whatsoever.
yeah. Well, so like
It already
that one,
happened. You can't do it.
exactly. That one I looked over. I was like, all right,
Statute of limitations.
legally I
Yeah.
can tell people this one. But yeah, there's a bunch of fun stories in there that kind of cover the whole aspect of touring the country by train. And
There's an ex-girlfriend story in there that is one of the most amazing stories that I'm so happy to be a part of. I can't tell the story because you have to read the book. It's incredible. But when I say like one of the most insane experiences that I've ever had with Dominic as a friend.
Yeah.
And it is encapsulated so perfectly in this book. I'm so happy that I made it in there.
I mean, to be fair, there was really no way to write the book without this one story. And it's kind of one of the types of moments that you dream about as a musician. Kind of something from your past coming back to bite you when you're in this tour cycle now. As a kid, typically it's playing Madison Square Garden and it's sold out and all this stuff. But it was interesting.
Here it's in a barbecue shop.
It was
in St.
interesting
Louis.
to run into such a different situation and have that parallel of where we currently are versus this like illusion, this dream that you have as a kid of what being a rock star or a performing musician is, and then to find myself in this situation where I am traveling the country, I'm doing this for a living, and I on a more grand scale feel that I've found my purpose in traveling and playing music. And it's nothing like I imagined when I was 14 or 15. You know what I mean?
Nope. Sure.
So, but that's where it's like it's kind of realizing the beauty in this lifestyle for what it is, and sometimes even the bare necessities of it are the most beautiful aspects of it. So, I think that comes through in the book. I think it's a conversational book. It's a book that I hope inspires other people to just start a band and go tour. Like, don't wait for someone to tell you it's okay. It is okay. Just go travel. Just go play shows and don't stop.
Oh, I love that. Hey, hold it up to that camera one more time so I can get a screenshot.
Yeah, roll it up
And
a
I'll
little
get
bit
you.
more,
I'll get
bit
you.
more.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, look at the screen. There you go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Get the
I love
fucking
it.
screen right in front of you, buddy.
Dude, it's so awesome. Yeah, you know, I have toiled with writing a book. I started writing a book called Once Upon a Bottle of Rum. It turned into a song, and so that song is out there in the ether. But yeah, I don't know. I do have. I think my journal is at, I don't know, like 800 pages, and it's been going for a solid 20 years now, or more.
Mm.
I think I started it. Derek and I used to live together in an apartment, and it was like I probably had just started it right there. My first venture out of it was our first apartment out of our parents' houses, you know. So we didn't know what the hell we were doing. Still don't, but I was
gonna say,
more so then. But yeah,
now you don't know with better equipment.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's equipment. It is equipment. That's for sure. Whether it's better or not, but
subjective.
But yeah, well, you know, as somebody who has started a lot of things and wanted to travel, and yeah, I guess I did do a lot of traveling. The cruise ship thing, you know, I can't say that it's dissimilar to what you guys did. It was just like in reverse. So I traveled and saw cool places, but I always played in the same exact place.
Right.
Right. So it's literally the reverse. So, you know, I got to travel the world and go sit on the same stage every single night for years.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, pretty cool, but also it felt very much like a hamster wheel.
Right.
I mean, I feel like that now, even playing the same 5 or 6 bars all the time.
Tell me
you
about
got to
it.
feel that same way. And that's part of the beauty of like what we're doing, but also like touring in general. Like you have to break that cycle every once in a while, or else, even though like we're blessed, we get to do this for a living.
Right.
This
and they'll
is how we
actually pay
our
us
bills.
money. Yeah.
We pay our bills playing music. So it's a blessing, and you can't really bitch about it. But there comes a point where you're like, I have to do something different because now we've now monetized our creativity to a point where it's starting to eat away at our souls.
Right.
So
it could become soulless. And that was the thing
so
with the
much.
cruise ship too. And I guess that is a pretty good way to say it, you know, I had to quit because I couldn't, the gig, the traveling and the people and the experiences were so good, but playing in the same spot, the price that I had to pay to do that was to murder what I loved, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Loved
the hard
playing
part.
music, and it became like I have to do this so that I could do all this other stuff. And not to say that the places I play now, like there is a variety, and I love the people to come out and play, and like you said, we are blessed to
Very
be able
much so.
to do that, to go and sit out in the sun, or sit by the beach and play songs. Come on,
Yeah.
Year round, whatever.
Like, how much can we really complain about the fact that we have to play, Brown Eyed Girl?
Oh,
I
love when people
sucks to have to do it all the time, but like that's what I'm getting paid for.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. At least I'm not having to like play like some classical concertos on guitar. Brown Eyed Girl, super easy to play.
3 chords and
You
we're
know?
off to the races, and the whole place goes bananas. But that's the thing is that we have this conversation all the time because he ventured into doing 3-hour shows for a little while, and I've been doing that's my bread and butter. And he kind of just was like over it because it's just, and there's a lot of songs that he refused to play because he has morals or whatever. I don't know what even that means.
Yeah, no, I get it though. I get it. I don't.
And I don't either. And that's why I'm trying to explain to him, like, dude, I promise you, like, I played in Nashville with a friend of mine, with Danielle, and we played Sweet Caroline, and we made about $300 during one song. And like for me, that's pretty great. And then that money then ports over into taking care of whatever I want to do creatively after that.
Yeah.
So like there's like a fine line, but the ability to be able to do what we do, where we can be able to play shows, have connections with people with our own original music, talking about story, like we're sort of like semi-historians on top of it. It's just like a totally different world. And that's the kind of thing that a lot of creatives don't do with themselves. They don't put themselves out there aside from just doing the bar gigs and stuff like that. And it eats away at you. And eventually you turn around and you're like 60 years old playing Brown Eyed Girl in the same bar you were, then, and you wonder where your fucking life went.
Yeah, it's true. I'm like I said, I'm fortunate enough to have traveled and seen a lot of the world because I was able to play music to do it. But in absolute reverse of what you guys are doing. It's
in
awesome.
total, because you were making money. I mean, more money than probably we're making.
I didn't have to pay for food, healthcare, or a place to sleep. So
I mean,
so the
that's-
chump change that they were
That's
they were
net
giving me-
positive.
Yeah, I was
man.
gonna say nowadays, that's all you could ask for.
It's fair. It's fair. All right, fellas. Well, we're up on the segment where we do our shameless plugs. Have you got any shameless plugs? Now's the time to do it. All right. Well, I know that we kind of talked about what would be shameless plugs a little bit early on, but go ahead and recap whichever one of you guys want to go first. And
We are hitting the trains again. We are getting back on tour. We're flying out to New York to start this one, and it'll be September 10th. We are playing in Brooklyn. The 11th, we are in Philadelphia. The 12th, we are in Wilmington, Delaware. The 13th, we are in Alexandria, Virginia. The 14th, we are in Willow Spring, North Carolina. The 16th, we are in Charleston, South Carolina. The 17th, we are in Savannah, Georgia. The 18th, we are in Jacksonville, Florida. The 19th, we are in Orlando. And then the 20th, we are back home here in Boca Raton at Prosperity.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Nicely
Thank you,
done.
Figures the last interview we have
I finally
for
got
this, you
all the dates
finally
right.
got all the dates right. So
Yeah.
that kind of works out.
I was working on a lot of stuff today earlier.
He's in the
about
mirror
all
going, the
dates.
16th we're in Savannah, the 17th we're in.
Listen,
got it wrong.
I'm glad that we're the last one because we got the primo.
Yeah.
Primo.
Yeah, now we know we're honed in on the stories we got to tell. Yeah, I mean, like we're going back on tour. We're going to be writing another album, and then our big home show is really the big thing. The 20th, we're going to be at Prosperity Brewers, and right now we have Danielle is going to be playing with us as well. She has this new project where she's playing piano and everything like that. Songs are incredible. She's going to be out there. We have a couple more artists that we're going to be bringing on as well. But that's our big home show, big homecoming tour, and we're probably going to be fucking broke. So please come out and buy whatever merch we have left and tip us and stuff like that. And then if you want to sponsor a mile, Venmo.com/DDRB music, and you can be able to send $5 or whatever you want to be able to help us pay for hotels along the way and essentially get back home.
Love that. Love it. Oh, I do have to ask, where are you playing? You said Charleston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you guys playing in Charleston? My best friend lives out there.
Shuggies?
Or Derek is also my best friend.
Derek's like, what the fuck?
Derek's like, I'm out. I'm out.
My,
Monitor your own
dropped
chat.
I know
one
who he's
cake.
talking about.
Just one cake.
but my
Drummer
friend,
Dan.
My friend Dan, drummer Dan, he's my oldest friend in the world, and
How old is he?
like 119. But no,
That's
he was
too
the,
easy.
he was
I
the
couldn't
drummer
know.
of my band for many, many years, and he lives up there in Charleston. So let me know where you're gonna play, and I'll see if he can't.
Yeah, we're
wrangle
gonna,
some
we're gonna be
Shuggies
at
bar?
we're gonna be at Shuggies. It's right on King Street. It's right.
Shuggies.
Yeah.
I never heard
So
of it
either
either.
Shuggies or Sugies. Sugey.
I feel like I might have actually gone to that bar when
Yeah,
I was visiting.
It's our first time playing there. We've played Charleston quite a bit, but typically we've played Tin Roof, and Tin Roof has always been really cool to us. But this time, just going with a different person booking our shows for us, it just kind of shook out this way. But we do even have one of our friends, Connor, who will be playing on this show with us. Goes by Color Mac, but now he's in a band, the DSLs. But they'll actually be playing with us, so it's cool. Like, that's another cool thing about this whole project is, like, when we get to go around the country again, we get to bring in people that we've met in a different context
Yeah.
from
Right.
different tours to see what they're doing now and bring them along. Be like, oh, you got a guitar? Great, come play with us.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Very, very cool. Anything to plug otherwise? Anything else going on in your other projects?
The book will be coming out November 17th. You can pre-order it now on Amazon. I did stick the link, or I think I put instructions in the chat on how you could pre-order it if you're interested.
Nice.
We are working on my solo album, which will be coming out. I mean, if it was up to me, it would be out yesterday. So it'll be out sometime soon, and then more touring. I would like to be on the road forever. So
Yeah.
Nice.
that's about it.
Yeah, that's basically I think all we're doing. We're going to start planning the next tour, and then yeah. Any other wacky shit you're doing?
I'm probably gonna start another book. I guess I don't know.
I'm in the middle of writing a script right now.
You guys are Renaissance men. For
So I'm
sure.
in the middle of writing a script right now, and I've yet to talk about this, but it's actually a short horror film. I really haven't told Dominic about this. That's based on us.
based on my life.
And it's
Scary
essentially,
already.
It's essentially a film about us getting booked at a house show, and then the house show, the person that books us actually is trying to kidnap us.
I love that.
So I have a cousin up in New York who's a filmmaker and everything like that. We've been going back and forth, and we're like almost done with the first draft of this script. And yeah, so like that's the kind of shit that we do. Is instead of having to do the TikTok dances and everything like that, we're just going to go the complete opposite way and use the music to be able to create all these different forms of media that can entertain everybody and not have to do all the social media bullshit.
I think it's also we want to do fun shit.
Yeah,
we
it's
want to
also
do
too.
fun stuff. So that makes sense. I'm in. I'm 100% in.
I know
for this
you're in.
one.
That's why I didn't bother even asking. You
Maybe
about it.
that's where it's like bring up my journaling a lot too. I was thinking maybe eventually I'll release like the Amtrak journals as well as their
That'd
own
be cool.
book.
We're just having like an R&D meeting
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now. Is
yeah.
that what's going on here?
Yeah, I'll cut you guys in. Don't worry.
I'm taking notes.
Derek, bring the cake.
Yeah.
I got you.
Speaking of Derek, any shameless plugs, Derek?
Freshly dropped cakes for sale. I will drop your cake anytime you want.
Hire me to drop your
Yep.
cake. That's like
Wow,
great
dude.
business.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you might be onto something.
Hey,
Yeah, that might be something. That might be something.
you can be
Professional
floored
cake dropper.
with my cake drops.
Think about it, man. Like you can prank people at weddings, birthdays, funerals, whenever there's a cake.
Heck yeah!
I love this.
Let's do it.
This
Make
really
this
is an
happen.
R&D.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What other crazy ideas can we come
I
up with?
mean, we're rolling here. We're spitballing.
I think it's this chaser water.
Yeah.
What's actually in this?
Can't get much more water than this.
It's deep
Okay.
sea, man.
No, that's not what it says. That's not what it says.
What is that?
Oh,
I can't. That's
not what it
funny.
says.
It's deep sea, man.
I gotta piss my pants. All right, Derek. What else? You got?
I don't have anything that I'm not going to steal from you. So go for it.
All right, I'm just very quickly gonna go through this. Shout out to our sponsors and partners at Leak Busters Roofing, the Bug Juice Code Rum, and welcoming Chaser Water into the mix. Check out our partner podcasts at Drums and Rums, Riffs and Rhythms. Both of who wrote this? Both of which are featured with us on the B3 Podcast Network. wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, check out the Al Beltran podcast, 561 Music, Nia's My Rum Diaries. And 561 Music, you can actually see these guys
I know those.
do the interview that I ripped this whole interview from.
And that's just an hour and a half of us making fun of Ben Giles.
I was gonna say because like this time I could understand the interviewer. You know, when that guy talks, it just sounds like jumbled.
I don't know what country he's from, but
oh, jeez,
sounds like a rolling trash can whenever he talks.
dear Lord.
Sorry, Ben.
No. I'm talking about. No, you're right. I'm just saying.
Ben, are you listening?
Ben.
What's great is they typically film their shows on Wednesdays, so we're usually pretty good. Sometimes they'll surprise us and pop in, but if they finish early or whatever the case is, but they typically film on the same days as we do.
Yeah, they're in the middle of a. Oh no, they're probably done by now. But yeah, they're good sports about it. Well, we were saying before, it's like if we're not making fun of you, you're not my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I though?
We don't know anything about making fun of each other on this show.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and like, share, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Once again, shout out to the JNC Arcade for being our September keg sponsor. If you got a business or a project that you would like to promote or just want to make sure that we've got enough to drink, reach out to me. You can email me, DMs, all good there. It's a $100 sponsorship. There's a bunch of ways to get that sorted out. So, hit me up and go play our video games on JNC Arcade at jncpodcast.com. Also, if you just love what we do and you just want to throw your money at us, you can join our Patreon page. It's $5 a month. Gets you some behind the scenes footage and some other fun
behind the access scenes.
And he hasn't had much to drink today.
I know. Well, I think that's the problem. It could be that
or
fireball.
the chaser.
All that semen.
Oh God, we're going off the rails.
Just shut it down. Shut it down.
Speaking of JNCpodcast.com, we've got some new merch up there. So go and check out our new T-shirts. We got a Captain Cocktails T-shirt up there. We got our Brocktoberfest T-shirt. It's our Das Boot shirt. I don't know if you guys know about Das Boot.
I've seen Beer Fest.
Yeah. So we do Das Boot every year for our Oktoberfest episode.
Yes, we do.
And I'm the reigning champion.
Hey, man.
Lion ass.
Bring a couple cases of non-alcoholic beers.
ass.
I'll give you a run for your money here.
All right. Don't think I won't.
I guess we're coming back.
The only reason I'm
Hey,
not.
you guys are coming back for Das Boot.
Sounds good to me.
And you can also see me
Just because
perform.
I don't drink beer.
Yeah, we got something for you.
I
though.
know.
I think we're gonna do that. We'll do that root beer.
I'll chug the shit out of that.
All right, come and see me play some shows around town. My one-man band. I'll be jamming at Ocean Republic Brewing in Stuart, Florida. If you're not from here, and I'll be there this Friday night from 6:30 to 9:30. And that's been my shameless plug. Yeah, not too shabby. All right, you guys. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed our show. Sorry again for going dark for a couple of minutes, I guess, but I'm glad that it came back to life. That's
Goddamn
nice.
Derek.
Yeah.
Way to go, Derek.
Jeez.
Well, yeah, what can I say?
Hey, listen,
I got big feet.
it was who knows what could have happened. I'll find out when I go to edit. When I go to edit tomorrow and look back on all of this, but
Cake on the control panel.
Cake on the control panel.
Be a good band name.
Cake on the control panel.
I go see
like
them.
it. Yeah.
They
Dropped
would definitely
by Derek is another really
Dropped
good
by
band
Derek.
name. Band name.
It's like a DJ
there's quite a
name.
few people that could be in that band.
Give it up once again for our special guests, Tom and Ricky from DDRB. Go see them on tour in a town near you that they just listed off. And give it up for Mr. Derek Zugel. Master of disaster.
That's me.
So you guys,
Just going cakes one slice at a time.
one slice at a time, one whole giant cake at a time.
One small baby Mardi Gras ornament at a time.
Little tiny baby Jesus. All right, you guys. Well, have a lovely. We've got a lovely best of show for you next week, and then we got a podcast takeover by Riffs and Rhythms while Jordy and I are overseas in the next couple of weeks. So be sure to tune in and support those guys holding it down for us. Maybe Derek and Ellie might be involved in that. They might show up.
Nobody said anything
be
to
out
me
there.
yet.
So maybe we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, and then we'll be back after a couple of weeks for something. It was going to be Derek's birthday show, but now I got to work.
You know more than I do.
Yeah, I do.
About that.
I do. I know all the things.
Yeah. It's what happens when your wife is my boss.
Yes, and I'm a consultant. I know all the things going on. Anyway, so while we're cruising the Mediterranean, you guys enjoy the hurricane season, what's left of it here in Florida. And until we see you again, take care of yourselves and each other, and stay hydrated with Chaser water. Summer may be over, but it's still hot out there, you guys.
Always.
Hot as hell.
Broadcasting live from the legendary JNC Lounge, I'm Brad Brock. We love you. Good night.
I'm amazed. I've lived this long, living life this way. Oh, don't you know? When the song is done, it's time to go. When the song is done, it's time to go. This long, living life this way. Oh,